It has a plethora of plaid and looks fantastic. Hi, it's Bud Wilkinson. Today it's a story on a 1966 Volkswagen Beetle. It belongs to Brandon Post of Torrington, Connecticut, who purchased it a little more than 3 years ago. What possessed you to buy it?
My kid suckered me into it. He said, "Dad, that would be a cool father-son project." So I bought it. And I got about 8 or 10 hours worth of labor out of him, out of the whole process so far, but you know, he's finally starting to actually get into it now that it's done, of course.
So what is the appeal of them to you?
They're a lot of fun. I think the appeal is how easy they are. I mean, I've been a car guy my whole life. You know, they're really, when you break it all down, they're all just a box of bolts on 4 wheels. You know, they're not all that much different, especially the old stuff before computers. But, you know, just the joy of, like, they're a lot of fun to drive. They're fun to work on. They're easy to customize and personalize, you know, so they're very easy to make your own. And I think that's kind of the appeal of it to me.
And Post has personalized the rear engine air-cooled VW. He's added air suspension.
Going into it, I wanted to have white wall tires and air suspension. So those were the first 2 things that I bought. They were the most expensive. Well, the air suspension was the most expensive part of the project so far, but it separates it from all the other Volkswagens, you know that, and of course the plaid.
Ah yes, the plaid. Post has plastered black and white plaid all over the Bahama Blue Beetle. The seats are plaid, and so are the door panels inside. The front trunk is lined with plaid, and the fresh air hoses on the engine have plaid socks. There's also Australian flash trim in tartan on either side. This car has an awful lot of plaid. What's the story there?
So when I bought the car, it originally had black leatherette seats. That was an option on the certificate of origin that I have for the car, and it was one of the few options available for it. And it needed a full interior when I got it, and I decided I didn't want to have just plain black, and I didn't want to have white because it's such a light colored car to begin with. So I wanted to go black, and then I wanted it to be different but subtle at the same time. And my first Volkswagen was a Rabbit GTI, and they had striped seats in '83 and '84. And then around 2014, Volkswagen did a plaid seat in their GTI. So I thought, you know, hey, the black and white plaid would be a subtle touch. Most people won't notice it until they're right up on the car, and it'll be something that's a little bit different. Everything that I've done to the car can be undone and put back to all stock within a matter of a couple of days. So I didn't want to be that guy that cut it all up and hacked it apart and ruined the car, knowing the history of it that I know. The history, well, it previously belonged to Kara Weigold of West Cornwall, Connecticut, who used it as a teenager in the early 1990s and then moved on. The '66 Beetle isn't the only one in Post's family. His wife Joyce has a 1971 Super Beetle that he gets to wash. I guess you can't have a collection if you only have one. So my wife has always been a Volkswagen girl. When I first met her back in our water-cooled days in Winstead, she had a triple white 91 Cabriolet. So she's always wanted an old Beetle convertible. And I wasn't really looking for one, and I don't really have the place to store it properly. But it was too good of a deal to pass up. And now he's looking at buying a third Beetle. That's my ride in Torrington, Connecticut for CT Insider. I'm Bud Wilkinson.